Hello and welcome back to Cyrene Sews. My name is Sarah and I have this small business, teeny tiny little business of sewing and crocheting. Mostly I have sewn stuff, but I'm trying to build my stock of crocheted stuff, or at least try to do that more. And I take you along adventures-ish, maybe what I do during the day when I'm not working. I do have a full-time job as well. Uh, Go to markets and at least what I made. I think I'm going to be doing a yarn comparison video soon and a tutorial at some point in time. Those are the things I have in my back pocket for when I have time, which I thought I was going to have the time this week because I had the whole week off, but it didn't go as planned. I went to Iowa to visit my son. That was a good time. And then I just had a whole bunch of errands to do. This is the day that I've been not doing a whole lot. Well, I did a whole lot. I haven't had to go anywhere yet, but I do have to go somewhere soon. Anyway, so let's get down to this week's makes before the market tomorrow. So this week, again, I went to visit my son, and while I was there, I made a cat. I made a nice big old black cat, and then I made it while I was at my son's. So I said, look at this cute little cat I just made, and he stole it. No, I gave it to him. He fell in love with it, and I was like, okay, you can have it, of course. So, but here's the video of that particular cat that unfortunately I won't be able to sell, but that's okay because my son liked it, and that is what mattered. Here you go. So the next thing that I made was when I got home, I did make this orange cat. Partially while I was at home, I took my daughter and her friend to a little physics thing at the library, and I did most of the cat there while I was sitting there. It was about an hour long, but I did spend a lot of the day doing this cat and listening to my audiobook. I'm trying to finish before it has to go back to the library. And unfortunately, this one I'm not going to finish, but this is my cute little orange cat. He is a big boy, and he is adorable. And then while I was in Iowa, I had someone I know on Facebook message me asking for what I had for like 4th of July bandanas for the dogs. And so I said, well, I don't have any made right now, but I do have a bunch of fabrics. You can see some of them behind me. And she chose a couple of fabrics. And so those are already packed up, but I also finished this morning just a whole set of them. And then she got the one each of the larges. And then she also ordered two my other bandanas that I already had made. So that was really cool. I really appreciate that. Shout out to you. You know who you are if you are watching this video, which I doubt it. But if you are, that's cool. So I made 2 sets of bandanas for 4th of July. This one has the popsicles and stars in a blue. And this one is just red, white, and blue stars. So hopefully I'll be able to go to the market tomorrow and sell those. And unfortunately, that is all I got done this week because I've just been running around like a crazy person having to do stuff. I had to bring my mom to the doctor and, all that driving that I could have been doing stuff, but that's okay. The drive there was really beautiful. It was hot. It was still so hot, but it was sunny and the scenery was great. We stopped at a state park in Minnesota. We didn't get too far into the state park before the fees, but we were able to stop there, and we ate in the car because, again, air conditioning was so hot. And we saw just all these dragonflies. It was this nice view, this hilly part. And then on the way back, we also stopped. We stopped at a different park that was not a state park. It was just a tiny little park, but it was at the top, and there was a really nice view. So, unfortunately, it was a lot cooler at that point. But my child does not like bugs, so she didn't get out very much. I walked down the trail a little bit just to see how it was. And so that was fun. That was how my week was. And let's see, Wednesday, it was dry enough for me to go to the marsh, and that was nice because it was just really pretty there. So I've had a little bit of a cloudy day, sun exposure is not great. I did do sunscreen when it was sunnier. I did not do sunscreen when I was at the marsh. Or no, I did do sunscreen when I was at the marsh. I didn't do sunscreen yesterday when I went to run errands. So, and I woke up a couple times last night just scratching at it. It was cloudy yesterday too, and I was just running errands. But regardless, so that is how my week went. Not a whole lot to show you, but that's because I did the big stuff. So the weather is iffy for tomorrow. We'll see if I get to go or not. If it's going to be, it'll just be when I wake up, and we'll see if it's going to rain or not. It will just not stop raining. It was not supposed to rain today, and it has rained. The ground is still wet. It's rained a little bit. It's sprinkled. No storms yet, but so. And then Sunday, I'm supposed to go to a little market at a dairy breakfast, and because it is dairy month, and so we'll see how that goes because that's going to be on a farm on Sunday, and I have to get up really early. So I'll set my alarm, and I'll see how the weather is going to be on during that time, and then we'll see how that goes. And if not, if I don't get to get those markets, then I will just try to be pretty productive with getting stuff ready for the next markets that I can do. And so I have lots and lots of stuff to sell. So, and I can finish all those, even though it'll be, so next weekend is the 4th of July weekend. So, it might be a little too late, but there's always the other 3-day weekend, which I don't work. I do work that. I work that weekend. But anyway, people like them all through the summer, and I think these popsicles are going to be really great because that's just like a whole summer thing. So, okay, hi there. It is Friday, July 4th. It's been a week, and I don't really remember last weekend very much, but I had stuff written down, and I looked at the videos. So last weekend went really, really, really well. It was hot, super hot, but it went really well. On Saturday, I had our local farmers market, and after I get done talking about it, you'll get to see. I went through and did a hyperlapse. It went a little too quickly, but you could see some of the stuff that is there. And it's a little farmers market, but you get a good turnout of people vending with all sorts of things. So that's pretty cool. So the farmers market, I did. Oh, sorry, I have my recap over here. I was looking at individual. We don't want to do individual sales. Okay. For bandanas, I sold one of each size. I sold a freezy ice pop holder thing. I don't know what you want to call it. I called them freezies. There's a long popsicle. It's in a bag. I call them freezies or ices. Other people call them ice pops or otter pops. I think that's a brand name. I've never seen it before. I think that when I first saw the idea, it was as a popsicle holder or whatever. But to me, popsicles are the things on the sticks. So anyway, semantics. I sold one. I sold 3 scrunchies and let's see, 5 unknown small crochet animals. Unknown because that was when my daughter was in charge, and she did an excellent job making sales that day when I went to go do whatever I needed to do. But she wasn't specific enough. But that's okay because I don't want to put too much pressure on her. She is on the spectrum, and the fact that she was willing to make those transactions, that I was really happy with that. So, and then a blue whale, and then a medium purple and green. Well, sorry, 2. So purple octopus and a green octopus, and I labeled those as medium. And I sold a tote bag. I don't remember which one it was. So for a total of a little over $100 for Saturday. So that was pretty decent. I will go with that. Still above average for last year. That's my 3rd one, and they've all been over $100. And I think I only had 2 last summer that were over $100, and that was like the 2nd one and one toward the end. So super happy with that. Let's see, what else can I say about, and I really need to start doing these videos after the markets, but I was busy. First of all, I was so tired. It was hot. And wasn't as hot as the last weekend. It didn't have as much wind problems as the last weekend. So that was good. Last Saturday went beautifully. As you will see, I did put sunscreen on multiple times. Ended up red. It looks a lot better. I went to the doctor. I was driving me way too crazy. I went to the doctor and she said, let's get you to dermatology. I still haven't heard from them. I went to them on Tuesday. I still haven't heard from them, so hopefully they'll call this coming week. It was a holiday week, so people probably weren't there, but hopefully they'll call this coming week and I'll get into dermatology. But in the meantime, she put me on methylprednisone because prednisone makes me want to climb walls and rip people's heads off. So we don't. And I don't mean metaphorically. I mean like physically. When I was on prednisone, I think I took like 1 or 2 doses, and I was like, I just like physically felt like I could just rip somebody's head off. It was not okay. So I stopped that. I won't take prednisone anymore. Methylprednisone does fine. A little more energy. I really had a hard time falling asleep last night. Yesterday was day 2 of taking that medicine. Really had a hard time, which is fine because I was able to sleep in, although I still woke up at 5:30. So anyway, I ended up having to take Benadryl so I could fall asleep shortly after midnight. I'm usually asleep by 10. Still woke up at 5:30, but as you can see, I am fine energy-wise, which actually I forgot to take it. So we'll do that as soon as I'm done with this. Where was I? Oh, so I went to the doctor. She sent me prednisone. I think that's helping. I think my eye reaction looks a whole lot better. And then, uh, no, not cortisone, a different type of steroid cream for my chest and wherever else. I had some reaction on my arm from the weekend. And that, but I can't put it on my face. It should not go on your face. It's only for my chest. And I think it looks a lot better than the previous video. It's not as red. It's still there. Like you can still see it there, but it's not. It's so much better. It doesn't itch. It's not driving me insane. Now today is 4th of July and I do have a party to go to this afternoon. We'll be outside. There will be a pool involved. Oh, and I got new sunscreen. As I was going completely insane earlier in the week, I started looking around and there is allergy sunscreen. So I put some on yesterday just to do errands after work, and it went on really nicely. It went on and it was dry. So the real test will be today because there's going to be a lot of sun, or even just being outside tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow too. But today, especially involving water and no cover. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and you'll find that out later if you're even interested. But I have to talk about it. So anyway, let's continue. What else about Saturday? So after that, I was tired, and we had to go Pokemon. It was Pokemon Go Fest. My daughter is obsessed with Pokemon, and I enjoy the game as well. But she had earned herself some money to buy the Go Fest ticket. So we did that, and she was dead set on getting a few shinies, certain shinies, and finally at the end of the day, right before we left to go home to make supper, she finally got the real shiny that she wanted. So it was very, very good for her. And then I don't know what we did after that. Came home, ate dinner, did nothing. So here's the footage from Saturday. So that was Saturday. So that was a lovely day. And then we move on to Sunday. And the weather was going to be iffy. That's right. So I woke up at 4 and I looked at the weather and it was raining when I woke up. And the place was about 45 minutes away and it was storming there. But the thing said it was going to be done by the time I got there. So I was like, okay. And it was. When I got there, it was fine. It was wet in the ground and we were in the grass. And but it ended up being really nice. Once I got tent set up, I've never set up on grass before. So that was interesting, but thankfully it wasn't too soft. And it didn't, it was level enough, or I chose a level enough spot. The only downsides were, so it was literally like, there was a tree and then there was the grass around and then so you came in and like gravel around and then the rest of the farm area, right? So it was literally, you come in, there's a roundabout type thing with grass and tree, and that's where we were. So there was literally a handful of us, just a couple. There was me, and there was someone with 2 tents that had like tumblers and some popcorny treat stuff. I didn't like too much of that one. There was some cookies, same cookie person that was there on Saturday at our farmer's market, which was really cool. I got one of their cookies on Saturday. It was really, really good. I did not get one on Sunday though. And so this was a dairy breakfast, and we were able to go get it. But I had brought breakfast. I didn't think that I would be eating the breakfast there, and then I immediately regretted it because everybody was so happy with their food. And I was like, and then by the time I was like, well, maybe I'll eat it for lunch, even though I brought a lunch. No, I didn't have time. It was way too busy. And finding someone to there was people helping around from the FFA. The local chapter of FFA, I believe. And so that was good, except still had a hard time finding people because they were so busy. It was really busy. Again, it was really busy. So it was really, really nice. Let's see, what was I talking about? There was a person behind me with the tumblers. There was a meat person. She had a daughter around my daughter's age, but I didn't bring my daughter because it was way too early. I had to get up at 4 and leave at 5. And my daughter's like, she sleeps till noon every day. Waking up for the farmer's market is hard for her. Waking up for school is hard for her. And I wait until like 6 at least to wake her up. Anyway, so, and then there was a cookie, and there was someone selling jewelry, I think. I didn't get a chance to look at their stuff very much. Or me stuff. The person who was, okay, the daughter, I'm all over the place. You can thank the steroids for that. I don't normally, maybe I do ramble around like this in the morning because it's the morning. Anyway, so the lady that had the meats that also brought her teenage daughter. Her teenage daughter was selling like little rubber bands that you loop together. You can make bracelets and necklaces. Well, I haven't done that ever, but I've seen them before. She was selling those for $1. She made like $30, $40 a day. So she came over and she got some stuff from me. So I was really happy about that. Anyways, I did really well. I made over $200. Just over $200. That's my best show like ever. And then let's do a little recap of that. I need my glasses for this one. Don't know why I didn't need them for the other one. My vision is weird. Okay, I sold I sold 1 small bandana, 3 large bandanas, and 2 extra large bandanas. I sold 3 freezy holders, 1 cat kicker, 1 scrunchie, which is odd. I usually sell more than that. I sold a lot of crochet things. As you'll see at the end of this, so in a minute I'll show you the start. And then I made a white cat during, so you see that, and then you'll see the end, and you'll see the crochet stuff. There's barely anything left, so that was really spectacular. I sold 2 brown chicks, 3 white chicks, 1 yellow chick, the blue chick, which the person insisted was a penguin, and I was like, it's whatever you want it to be. His big brother was like, it's not a penguin, and I'm like, hey man, if he wants to be a penguin, it's a penguin. So he was very happy with his little penguin. And the speckled chick, a frog, and the last pet rock. Which is why I need to make more. I got eyes, and I ended up, I had ordered from Temu. It was going to take way too long, so I ended up ordering from Amazon. I'm going to use the ones from Temu anyway. But the Temu ones anyway were like like just a mixture of all of them. I need more small ones, so I ordered 8 and 10 millimeter from Amazon. It's similar price, it's fine, and a lot more. Excuse me. And those are all the small items. The medium items, I sold that funny axolotl. A little girl loved it, so I was happy with that. I sold the 2 funky little burbs and the rainbow cat and the white cat that I made in the last video, and the purple, it was like a dark purple and black bee. And then for the large stuff, I sold the lighter purple bee and the green bee, so that was exciting. And that orange cat that I made also sold, 20 bucks, not mad, as a extra large. Yeah, so that was pretty great. What else can I tell you about Sunday? After I got, it did get really hot toward the end. And again, sunscreen all the time. And I had to stop putting sunscreen on my eyelids because my eyes were stinging. So I think it was Saturday after that market, I was able, at some point in time, I was able to get these big over the glasses sunglasses, which I had needed anyway. And so especially so that I could not have to put sunscreen on my eyelids and underneath, because it was still getting into my eyes, even though it was like scent-free, whatever, good Neutrogena sunscreen, whatever. So I did end up getting a little more damage on my eyes, even with the sunglasses it went through. But thanks to the medication, it's gotten a lot better. So that's good. And what else was I going to say? I think that might have been it. I was talking about what else I could do. What else I could talk? Oh, I found those glasses. They didn't help as much. After I got home, I had to go to work because, so this was the end of my vacation as well. But somebody had switched. So we have, in our lab, I work in the micro lab, and we have different benches. And everybody knows 2, sometimes 3 or 4, but at least 2 benches. And we have some people training. They're not on weekends yet anyway. But and you are scheduled for certain weekends throughout the, I gotta do laundry. I'll be right back. I don't remember where I was at. Laundry's done, or not done. Laundry's changed. Timer set. These people in this building, there's one lady that's just like, we've had some confrontations about laundry, and she has come knocking at my door 2 seconds after my timer goes off, being like, how come you haven't changed the laundry? Like, one of these days I'll be able to afford a house. That'll be great. But anyway, we were talking about Sunday. Oh, I had to go to work. So we each have benches that we need to do, and all those benches need to be covered for the weekend. So normally when you try to switch with someone, our supervisor makes sure that the switch is still going to be compatible with all the benches that need to be covered. There was human error in that, so they didn't have anyone to cover the blood bench that day. So, and there's things that can be done, like the person on Saturday that did the blood bench left notes for the person the next day, and she did a great job. I got there, and I was expecting to be there for a couple hours. I got there at 5, and I told my daughter, I said, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will not work past 8. So. And I was only there for an hour. She had everything was done. I just needed to do like very blood specific things that only a blood tech could do, kind of thing. So I was really pleased with that. It only took an hour, and I got home and I was able to chill and crochet. So there's I don't know if I'm going to do the market tomorrow. If it's sunny, then I will. I mean, not if it's sunny. If it's not raining, I will. But I don't think I'll be sad if I don't get to do the market tomorrow, because I don't have a whole lot of crochet stuff done. And I didn't have a whole lot of time this week. And we'll get to that in the video I make later. So here's the footage from Sunday. And then let's see if there's anything else I have to say. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. As you can see, I barely had any crochet stuff left. This week I have not been able to make a whole lot more. I tried. I have made a few things, don't get me wrong, but like we had some ant issues and all that. I'll find out all about that next week. But that is the end. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Let me know if you want me to do like a review of the sunscreen. I know that's not really what this channel is about, but this is going to keep happening. So if you're interested, let me know. Say anything nice. Not too, don't. If you're mean, you shouldn't still be here. Okay. If you don't like the video, why have you watched this long? Anyway, so again, one more time, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you next week.